Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take your sources and really dig into them to pull out the most important knowledge. Today, we're doing something maybe a little unusual, but I think pretty revealing. We're diving into just a single piece of information you shared. Basically, it's metadata, things like the title, author, language, the platform of some content. And just from these, well, seemingly small clues, we're going to try and uncover some surprising global trends in how we all seek out and consume knowledge today. Okay, so let's unpack this specific one. The source is the title and context of a YouTube video. It reads, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel Audiobook book summary in Hindi. And it was up. Now, our mission isn't really to review the book itself or even the video content. It's more to explore what this specific title, these data about the data points. What do they reveal about the modern world of information sharing? It's kind of a shortcut, maybe, to seeing global learning habits.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is exactly that, how this single line, this video title, it really acts as a window, doesn't it? A window into some pretty powerful global trends. It just speaks volumes about who's learning, what they want to learn, and importantly, how they want to learn it. It's like a tiny snapshot of the whole modern information ecosystem.
That really sets the stage well. So, okay, let's dive into that first layer then, the heart of it, the psychology of money.
Mm.
What does it tell us that this is the topic? Not just, investing 101, but something deeper. The psychology of money. Why is that drawing so much interest globally?
Well, if you connect that to the bigger picture, it really underscores something universal, I think.
Yeah.
Money isn't just about spreadsheets and numbers, right? It's deeply, deeply tied to our behavior, our emotions, how we make decisions. People are actively trying to figure out why they make the financial choices they do, not just what choices.
Oh,
And that points to a more reflective approach to finance, maybe, moving beyond just the mechanics to the human elements underneath. It's acknowledging that our biases, our fears, hope, all that stuff plays a huge role in our financial life. This shift towards understanding the human side, well, that's a pretty profound insight into what people actually value in financial education now.
that's so true. It's almost like realizing the biggest challenge isn't the market, maybe, but the person looking back in the mirror. So you're saying people are finally connecting their emotional state with their financial decisions. Maybe you felt this too, that understanding money, it's as much about understanding yourself, recognizing those emotional triggers that pull you towards certain choices.
Precisely. It's a recognition that those purely rational economic models, they often just fall short. They don't explain real-world behavior that well. So a more nuanced psychological view isn't just helpful, it's kind of essential for a lot of people wanting to really get a handle on their finances.
Okay, and sticking with what people are seeking out. The title also highlights the author, Morgan Housel. There's so much financial advice out there. What makes his name stand out? Why feature it so prominently, almost like a brand?
That really brings up an important point about, well, thought leaders, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do certain authors become these global benchmarks in fields like finance?
It speaks to their credibility, I think,
Yeah.
and the perceived value of their insights, so much so that their work gets adapted, shared across different languages, different cultures. Housel, specifically, he's known for this very clear narrative style. Practical wisdom makes complex ideas feel really accessible. His ability to, boil down deep truths into relatable stories, that creates a connection. It builds trust that goes beyond borders. So when his name's right there in the title, it signals quality. It signals a certain approach people are actively looking for. So in this age of just information everywhere, maybe trust in an author is becoming even more valuable than just the raw data. It's like his name is an endorsement, a stamp saying, yeah, this is worth your time. This is reliable. It's not just any information. It's Housel's perspective on it.
Absolutely. It highlights that human desire we have to connect with and learn from people who seem to have figured things out. People who offer clarity, not just more noise.
But here's something that really jumped out at me. The format, the combination. It's not just the book. It's a book summary presented as an audiobook that feels very deliberate. What's that telling us about how people prefer to learn now? And maybe about the listener wanting knowledge efficiently.
Oh yeah, what's fascinating there is how perfectly those formats cater to that modern learner persona. Audio means convenience. You can listen while you're commuting or exercising, doing chores, whatever. And the summary part, that's pure efficiency. Getting the key takeaways, the main arguments, the big insights, without having to wade through everything. It's all about maximizing understanding in minimal time. It's a very clear response to, well, busy modern lives where time is just so scarce. People want to stay informed, definitely, but they need information delivered in a way that fits their schedule, fits their attention span. this format. It's a pretty smart solution.
I totally see that. It's like found time learning, isn't it? Squeezing it into the gaps in your day. But does that quest for efficiency, does it risk compromising maybe the depth of understanding? Or is it just a smart way to stay broadly informed on more things? Perhaps you, listening, often turn to summaries or audio versions yourself just to quickly grasp new ideas.
That is a crucial question. And look, not everyone has the time or maybe even desire to read every single full book they're interested in, but they still want access to the core ideas, the wisdom. Summaries kind of bridge that gap, don't they? They make valuable knowledge much more accessible. People seem willing to accept that trade-off, maybe less depth for broader exposure.
And then there's the language aspect. In Hindi, this immediately pushes our view beyond the usual English-centric content sphere. What kind of profound insights does that give us about the global demand for financial literacy and these psychological takes on money?
Yeah, this detail is really crucial. It powerfully illustrates what people call the democratization of knowledge, the desire for financial wisdom, and specifically this nuanced understanding from the psychology of money. It's clearly global. It transcends language barriers. It shows there are dedicated efforts happening to make complex, important information accessible to really diverse audiences all over the world, which helps foster a more informed global population, right?
Yes.
And it's not just about translating words, it's about translating concepts, making them relevant culturally. It just highlights this universal hunger for knowledge, for self-improvement, whatever your first language is.
That's such a powerful point about democratizing knowledge. It really underscores that global appetite for these ideas and a commitment from someone somewhere to deliver them in a way that connects directly. It shows great ideas aren't stuck behind language walls. They're actively sought out, adapted for this global community that's just eager to learn.
It also hints at something else, maybe the entrepreneurial side of the online learning world. Creators identifying these language needs and stepping in to fill them. It proves there's a real demand, a market, for content that's culturally and linguistically right for different groups.
Okay, finally, let's look at the platform and the channel itself. Uploaded on the YouTube channel, Readers Books Club. What does using YouTube as the hub, and specifically a channel focused on readers' books, tell us about where and how people are engaging with educational stuff today?
If we connect that to the bigger picture, it really highlights YouTube's evolution, doesn't it? It's way beyond just cat videos now. It's a massive educational platform. And a Books Club channel specifically, that suggests a more community-driven approach to learning, where summaries and discussions, they don't just dump information on you, they aim to foster engagement, maybe deeper understanding around books, around ideas.
Oh, okay.
It becomes this powerful blend of content and community. People aren't just passively consuming anymore. They often seek out channels that match their interests, where they can potentially interact in the comments or find a whole curated list of similar material. It turns what could be solitary learning into something more connected.
So it's kind of like the modern version of a book club, but instead of meeting, locally once a month,
Yeah.
you're tapping into this global network of other curious people all wanting to dissect and understand important books. It really makes you wonder, how much has this shift towards informal, community-led learning platforms changed what it even means to be educated or informed now?
Precisely. It really exemplifies that trend of informal learning. People taking control of their own education, seeking out resources that are engaging, convenient, and, importantly, tailored to their specific interests and how they like to learn. It points to a really profound shift in how education is consumed.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean? We haven't even looked inside the book, right? But just by examining the title of this one YouTube video, we've done a deep dive into something much bigger. These fascinating trends in how knowledge is sought out, how it's packaged, how it's consumed globally, especially for really vital topics like the psychology of money. We've seen that hunger for practical psychological insights into finance, the power of authors people trust, the huge demand for efficient, accessible formats like audio summaries, the incredible reach of content across languages, and the really vital role of these community platforms like YouTube.
And understanding how information gets curated and delivered for a topic like this, it can be just as revealing as the content itself. It paints this vivid picture of a world that's just hungry for wisdom and the really innovative ways people are finding it, often by leveraging accessibility and community. It shows a learner who's proactive, empowered, really taking charge of their own intellectual journey in this constantly changing digital world.
So as you continue on your own journey of discovery, what stands out to you? When you come across new information, do you ever just pause and think, Not just about what it's saying, but also how it's being delivered, who it seems to be for, and why maybe that particular format or language was chosen. What other unexpected clues can you find about the world just by looking closely at the sources themselves? It's a skill that'll definitely serve you well.